In 1975, two things appeared that changed our world forever: A Course in Miracles and the Altair 8800. And what, you may ask, could a mind training course and the world's first personal computer possibly have in common? Well, it all has to do with perspective. For the 6,000 years or so of recorded human history,
before 1975,
the perspective of the greatest minds in the world has been that life is but a dream.
Have you ever had a dream, Neil, that you were so sure was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world? 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 And the real world?
The world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, and they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride.
Up in the sky! It's a bird!
it's a plane!
I was 15 in 1975, and I've grown up with this 6,000-year-old perspective of an analog world. And from the perspective of an analog dream, my world is made up of energy and matter, molecules, frequencies, words. When the course came out in the 70s, the idea of millions of computers all over the planet networked together to play the same game was only a thought in the mind of a few sci-fi buffs, visionaries, and Steve Jobs. Now it's part of our everyday experience. I begin to think of my body as a biocomputer unit, where the brain is just part of the hardware which forwards the signals telling the body what to do, see, and feel. My unconscious mind is running the ego program, which sends signals to the brain that control my perceptions.
So you're saying we're all just there's some entity that program the universe, and we're just expressions of their code.
To answer your question more directly, I have in my life come to a very strange place because I never expected that the movie The Matrix might be an accurate representation of the place in which I live.
How do you think will virtual reality tie in the future of transportation which you are working on? Thank you.
Well, maybe we're in a simulation right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
So the assumption then is that somebody beat us to it, and this is a game.
No, there's a 1 in billions chance that this is base reality. The strongest argument for us being in a simulation, probably being in a simulation, I think is the following. That 40 years ago, we had Pong, like 2 rectangles and a dot. That was what games were. Now, 40 years later, we have photorealistic 3D simulations with millions of people playing simultaneously, and it's getting better every year. And soon we'll have virtual reality, augmented reality. If you assume any rate of improvement at all, then the games will become indistinguishable from reality. Just indistinguishable.
Most science fiction stories describe humanity as a species that will expand outwards.
To boldly go where no one has gone before.
And all that. And maybe that's true. But I find the idea that I'm experiencing life as a biocomputer unit in a simulated, programmed world, all of it projected from my mind, is easier to come to peace with than some sort of spiritual idea of a dream with no structure, where I've sinned somehow, or sold my soul, or fallen from grace. But seeing myself as playing a holographic virtual reality game so ruthless and distracting that I've forgotten it's just a game.
Welcome back, Captain Stevens.
Where am I?
You are inside the source code.
What is the source code?
It's a computer program, Captain.
You can control your surrogate.
I got sucked in and now the game is playing me.
And send it out into the real world.
That I can see. That has a structure I can work with.
Hey! Hey! You boys been coming up the pronghorn. I thought I'd come down here. You're all so tough.
I know there will be a few skeptics here in the audience. But with these 4 pieces of evidence, you just might find yourself believing what I'm about to tell you. That we may be living in a simulated universe, a computer-generated reality.
Go away from me, please!
Things have started to change. That's all that's happened. You know that deep down, don't you?
No, things have not started to change, Uncle. Things have started to end.
We can't control the way things happen in this world. We can only control how we react to them.
What are you doing here? You're trying to destroy my life. Why are you doing this to me?
Because I'm your uncle, and I love you.
And here I am still. 46 years after the Altair 8800. But today, my dream game world is made up of binary information and networks In 2021, I experienced my life from the digital world perspective. And from the digital world perspective, I live in my mind. Learning one is that it's all in my mind. Welcome to my conscious mind, my box, the place where I think. This is where I experience my perceptions of a world that seems to be outside me. It may seem that I live as a body in a world outside of me, but I really live entirely in my mind. This is what A Course in Miracles means when it says I have a split mind.
Split mind.
And from this digital world perspective, where it's all in my mind, thinking of myself as being on a roller coaster ride works much better to bring my mind to peace than the analog thought of my life being but a dream. Once I can accept that I'm on the roller coaster ride of my life, then I also have to accept that the ride is going where it is going. And I can't control that. But in that instant of releasing control over what's happening outside of me in the world, where I am at the effect of my experience, in that instant, I restore to myself the power to choose in my mind. I can't change what's happening outside my mind in the world. The ride is going where it's going. I can't change the ride, but I can change how I'm thinking about the ride. I can be at the cause of my experience.
It's just a ride. And we can change it anytime we want. It's only a choice. No effort, no work, no job, no savings of money. A choice right now between fear and love. The eyes of fear want you to put bigger locks on your door, buy guns, close yourself off. The eyes of love instead see all of us as one.
Right? We've got this framework, this pattern in our minds of the way that the world works. And we don't have to think about it on an ongoing basis because we know we've got mental models of how things work. But if your mental model diminishes you or a part of you or shames you, I think it's about time that we change some of our mental models.
Eventually, everybody will do this. This is a compulsory course. Only when you do it is what you decide. Otherwise, you'll stay here forever. And you'll get so miserable, you will eventually decide you want some peace of mind. And once you want peace of mind, you've got to look for another way. And this is the other way. There are only two. And this is number one. Up to you now.
I'm not a body. I'm free.
I'm not a body. I am free. I am still as God created me. From the analog world perspective, A Course in Miracles tells me I can awaken in this dream. From the digital world perspective, A Course in Miracles is a do-it-myself instruction manual, which explains how I can awaken myself. From my dream game. I'm free. If you're open to the possibility of thinking another way about the world and about who you really are, then I invite you to join me on a learning journey. This is Holy Spirit's gift through me for you, should you choose to accept it.